All right.
It worked.
Hello, everybody. We're Vida Vegan. We've got Jess and Michelle and Janessa here. And today we've got Lacy Davis from Super Strength Health with us. She's going to be a first-time speaker at Vida Vegan Con this May in Austin, Texas. And we wanted to chat with her a little bit just about what she does, who she is, what she's excited about Vida Vegan. So welcome, Lacy.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for dealing with our technical difficulties a minute ago. So I'm going to start with a very important question first. What did you have for breakfast today?
Breakfast? I'm kind of a boring breakfast person, but I had oatmeal and
Solid
banana
breakfast.
and peanut butter.
Delicious. That sounds perfect. We were going to be in Austin, which is the city of breakfast tacos. Tell us, do you prefer tacos or burritos?
And would you put oatmeal in any of them?
No, I wouldn't put oatmeal in any of them because that would be crazy. I'm definitely a taco person, but that's mostly because I'm allergic to gluten, and a gluten-free tortilla is just bullshit. So
Yeah, fair.
Taco all the way.
Awesome.
So this is your first VVC. What have you heard about us? What are you looking forward to?
I've heard that it's a huge, awesome, sold-out conference of vegans, basically. I've been kind of watching some of the social media from past conferences to see what the vibe is like, and it seems really fun, like just a lighthearted, celebratory, fun hang of vegans. I'm really looking forward to the other workshops, actually. There are so many that I'm so excited to go to. And I'm also really looking forward to the breakfast taco, to be honest. I've never had a breakfast taco, but it's in the wheelhouse of things I will love, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited for your class, or your classes, because you're going to be on a panel too. But do you want to talk about your class? Because it covers so much, and it's something that, I mean, it's an issue that we're finally all talking about, and it's really exciting to see so many voices out there talking about it. And yours is such a strong, just fantastic, honest voice out there. So, yeah, do you want to tell us about your class?
Sure. My class is on veganism, body image, self-esteem, and eating disorder recovery, and kind of how social media plays into all of those categories. And I wanted to talk about it initially because I think the stereotype with veganism and eating disorders is that it's just a way for people to restrict. And for me, that had never been the case. I was vegan before I had an eating disorder. I was vegan during most of my recovery and had a short period where I wasn't vegan, and ultimately decided that when I feel happiest and healthiest and most connected to my body is when I'm eating vegan. And I feel like there's been a little bit of a paradigm shift lately where now people aside from myself are using veganism as part of their recovery, as part of a way that they get more connected to their food and they learn to enjoy food without like caloric restriction. And I just think it's really important to keep shifting that stereotype away from veganism as a form of restriction, because it just doesn't feel that way to me. It feels really joyful. So that was one kind of aspect of it. And the other, in terms of social media and veganism, I think that specifically blogs can be used for people who have eating disorders kind of in their illness, like as a way to obsess over food or what other people are eating, or to compare themselves and what they're eating to, what the shiny veneer is of whatever a blogger is doing. Or alternately, it can be a way to get inspired and fired up and passionate about recovery too. And I think I have definitely used blogs as both in my experience in my life. Recently, I found that writing a really honest, kind of non-shiny, non-veneered blog about veganism and recovery has been personally really helpful for me, and it seems helpful for my readers as well. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how social media plays into, you know, what we eat and how we compare ourselves and how we can use it for good as opposed to for evil.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is so inspiring.
Yeah. What kind of blogs have inspired you, Lacy?
There's a lot. I love Choosing Raw is probably one of my favorites. Bonsai Aphrodite. I haven't met any of these people. This is another reason I'm so excited.
Well, Jennifer is going to be her third time speaking, so I'm sure you'll get to meet her, and I'm sure you guys have an online friendship already. So
totally, I love her. I love what she's doing. Her Green Recovery series does kind of just what I was talking about, sort of places veganism as a tool of recovery as opposed to a tool of restriction. I think that's really good for the whole world. So I'm really looking forward to meeting her. I love her blog. But also Bonsai Aphrodite, a really, I think, lighthearted, fun blog. I know she's going to be there too. I'm not just saying that these are my favorites because they're going to be there. It's just that you guys have curated really well to my taste. So I appreciate that.
Excellent. Yeah, they're both fantastic blogs, and we were actually just commenting earlier today on the similarities between your blog and Sayward's blog because both of you have that blog feel that I guess, I mean, we kind of call it a throwback blog feel because it's still really personal and sharing and it's stories and it's not every post is sponsored and it just feels really organic and nice and your voice comes through. Yeah, so we love your blog and we were just comparing yours to Sayward's earlier. So.
Ah, that's a big compliment. I appreciate that. Yeah, what I love about her blog is that it's really feels like a window to her life and that's what I want. I'm nosy. I want to know what goes on with the bloggers that I read.
Yeah.
And it's the personal stories that actually give people something to relate to. It's not, you're not standing above anyone. You're a person, and you're going to have good days and bad days, and that's why people come to you because they know that there's a person there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like we could all read magazines if we wanted to, right? But we don't, and there's a reason.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Can you tell us some more, Lacy, just about what you're doing with Super Strength Health and how that plays into your online presence?
Sure. So Super Strength Health, first and foremost, is a health and wellness coaching business. So I work one-on-one with clients. My focus is to help people up their body image and self-esteem. I also like working with people that are transitioning toward veganism or trying to become a healthier vegan. But it seems probably like a third of my clients are vegan, but it seems that most of my clients really come to me because of that emphasis on body image and self-esteem. And I'm not a registered dietitian. I don't have that training. So I do look at people's nutrition, make sure they're eating enough, and can generally help people in that way. But really it's more about the emotional kind of like underpinnings behind our food choices and our body image and self-esteem. So there's that. That's like kind of the first little aspect of Super Strength Health. I also am in the process of studying to become a personal trainer. So I'll be helping people more like one-on-one with their exercise programs. And then the third aspect is I just started doing meal prep and delivery. So I'm delivering like single servings of vegan, gluten-free, and refined sugar-free kind of like prepackaged meals to people in the Bay Area. So I work with all ingredients that I get at the farmer's market, so it's all local and seasonal too.
Your squash looked lovely.
I'm glad you thought so.
Do you deliver everything yourself?
Yeah, right now. So it's very small. It's kind of in beta right now. So I do deliver everything myself, or sometimes people come and pick it up from me, and then it's cheaper if they do that, so it saves me time.
Cool. So do you have any favorite restaurants in Oakland or San Francisco that you love dining at?
Well, first and foremost, Timeless Coffee. It's not exactly a restaurant, but it is an all-vegan coffee shop. It's a mile from my house, and it's awesome. It's also a bakery and chocolatier, and they have soft serve, and it's just a really cool place to hang out. That's where I do a lot of my work. So that's kind of my number one. In terms of restaurants, I don't eat out very often, admittedly, because I'm really cheap. But and also I feel like I lived in Portland, and the food in Portland is my favorite. So anything here, I'm like, oh, it's just not It's not as good. It's more expensive. But I love Gracias Madre. It's all vegan Mexican food place here. And Chaya is an all vegan sushi place here.
You like Chaya, right?
I remember that well.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Overall, besides the restaurants, how is sort of your local vegan scene? Like, how's the community?
It's thriving.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it's interesting because I work with clients from all over, and some people have never met another vegan, and I'm just like so amazed by them and impressed by them. Because here it's incredibly easy to be vegan. I find the vegan community to be really welcoming and accepting, and it feels really good. Yeah, Oakland vegan community is awesome. I highly recommend coming and checking it out.
Oh. Okay.
Come on down.
Is there anywhere that you particularly want to travel? Like, do you have anything on your like must-go-to list?
I am actually not a huge traveler either. I love my like kind of routines and things, but I would like to go to Europe, like kind of backpacking around Europe. That's one thing I've always wanted to do. I've also wanted to hike the Pacific Crest Trail for a long time, which is a trail from Mexico to Canada. If people don't know. It takes like 5 months.
And you recently went to Disneyland?
Yeah, I recently went to Disneyland, yes.
Anything fun happened there?
Yeah, I got engaged, actually. Funny you should ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got engaged on Space Mountain, actually, like right at the picture moment of Space Mountain.
That is wonderful. Is your fiance going to be in Austin with you?
He is, yeah. Yeah.
And it's both of your first time in Austin?
Actually, he's been there before. There's this punk fest called Chaos and Chaos that he's been to. I think he's been there maybe twice, but it's my first time.
So we want to talk to you a bit about what you're doing with regards to trainings and friendships. What are your big tips for new vegans?
New vegans. I think first and foremost, I always tell people to like be gentle with themselves. I've seen people who really want to transition toward veganism and they make mistakes or they have situations where they don't feel comfortable kind of like advocating for themselves. And I think it is most useful to trust your intention and to keep giving yourself accolades for making the decision to try as opposed to getting mad at yourself and stopping if you don't do it perfectly right away. My sort of, I know that fake meats and fake cheeses are like great transitional tools. I think in terms of health, it's good to use those lightly. I wasn't always allergic to gluten. It sort of like ramped up as I became vegan, actually, because I was only eating gluten because I didn't know what to eat really. So I'm like, use those gluten things to help you in your transition, but make sure to eat your vegetables still too. Like you want to try to be aiming towards health as well as veganism. So kind of those two things. Be gentle with yourself and eat your vegetables, I think, mostly.
It's perfect. Honestly, it's wonderful.
What's your favorite vegetable lately?
Oh. I like all of them, everything except for mushrooms. I don't want to say that again.
Is it the texture?
Yeah, but it's weird. I like eggplant, and eggplant has kind of that texture.
Yeah, eggplant, yeah.
I hear you. Every few months, I go through this thing where I'm like, mushrooms are a little bit too much like eyeballs. So.
It's intense. It's totally intense, and I think I have like PTSD from when I first went vegan, and the only vegan option was like a giant portobello mushroom anywhere I went. So,
yeah, those hummus plates. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But I like kale. I like beets, Brussels sprouts, broccoli.
All right.
I'm a veggie fan.
Excellent. Okay. Janessa will take the next one.
Yeah. So it seems like Super Strength Health is becoming a brand for you with your blog and the meal planning services. Is this what you envisioned for yourself a year ago, or how has it come about developing? And do you have any tips for people who might want to do something similar?
That's a good one, Vanessa.
Thanks, Jeff.
Totally. So this time last year, I was teaching high school. I was teaching health classes, actually, and as well as art and photography. And I did like my students a lot, and I loved teaching them about health, but just teaching as a whole was just really kind of not for me. I was commuting 3 hours a day. I didn't have time to do my own personal writing and creative process, so I decided that I would go back to school. I went to school online at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I got my health and wellness coaching degree, and just sort of transitioned slowly from teaching to doing my health coaching practice. My initial plan was that I would ask the school that I worked for to let me teach health 1 day a week, and to have my business as the other kind of like component of my income. And I asked them, and they weren't into that idea. They wanted someone to be like a full-time person. So I was like, okay, like, I guess this is just what I have to do. And if anything, I'm good at getting jobs. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I was paid to teach through the summer. I stopped teaching in May, but I was paid through August, which helped me kind of transition. And I knew that if it didn't work, I would find something else. I would be able to get a different job. So I just kind of went for it. I think my biggest piece of advice for people that want to go in business for themselves is just to be ready to work every day for a little while, and to be passionate and dedicated, because if you're not going to get a weekend, you have to at least like what you do. And to have confidence. There are a lot of people that I went to school with, that I'm in contact with, that haven't actually started their practice yet, even though they're just as certified and able to as I was, because they didn't feel like they were good enough or didn't have confidence to do it. I don't know, you just have to believe in yourself. To be an entrepreneur, I think you have to believe that you're good enough, and I think that is like kind of an intrinsic part of my self-esteem too. Super Strength Health and starting my business and seeing it through was a part of kind of like my growth as a person that has self-esteem. And then the last thing is just to blog. Like, I don't think I would have any of my clients if I didn't have my blog, if I didn't have a readership. I'm not sure really how I would find people, because I'm not super great at like going up to people and handing them my card or something. That's not really how I network. So yeah, blogging is an excellent tool to get people just to know who you are, what you're about, and what you do.
Awesome. So how did you find your audience with your blog?
I think it was persistence mostly. When I started blogging, I did it kind of how I do anything, which is that I decided I was going to do it, and I made a commitment to doing it. And when I started, it was 3 days a week. I had a period where I was blogging every weekday for a few months, just to like try my hand at that and see if that worked. And also I did some guest posting on other blogs that already had kind of a larger platform than my own. So I guest posted on Choosing Raw, which I think I definitely noticed a spike in my readership after doing that. I also guest posted for Fit and Feminist, which is another blog that I follow and love. Just, you know, like when I think about life as a person who blogs, I have to schedule it in. I sometimes want to have more content than I'm able to, and if an appropriate person offers to guest post for me, I'm totally psyched, and that might be true for some of the like bigger bloggers too, and that can be really helpful if you're trying to actually like get a readership or drum up some sort of business from your blog.
What's your favorite form of social media?
Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm a really visual person. I love taking pictures and seeing what other people are up to. And I know Twitter has the hashtag thing too, but I've never really like gotten into engaging with Twitter in that way, but I totally will look at hashtags on Instagram and see kind of like who else is out there. And yeah, it's totally my favorite by far. I love that platform.
Same.
Yeah, you have a really captivating Instagram, Lacy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you want to tell us about your book? You just released your book.
I have a cookbook that I released a few months ago. It's an anti-inflammatory cookbook. So I took ingredients that are anti-inflammatory, such as ginger, turmeric, berries, walnuts, almonds, and greens. And I made a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack recipe for each one of those ingredients. It's not just my book. I collaborated with my friend Melissa, who runs a company called DC Makes. So her and I formulated the book, photographed it, and kind of like put it into the world a few months ago. I think that might be the one you're talking about. I also am in the process of writing another book proposal that's a kind of a different thing. But yes, the anti-inflammatory foods cookbook is the one that's out in the world now.
Well, I remember all the pictures from your big release party dinner. That was lovely.
Oh yeah, that was.
I had been stalking
so
you
fun.
for quite a while, clearly.
Good to know. Good to know. I like your Instagram too, by the way.
Well, we want to ask you, Lacy, in regards to your projects, tell us more. What do you have coming up? Do you, new projects, more about your book, any, TV appearances or, internet run? I don't even know what phrasing I'm making up. So tell us, what do you have going on?
So a few different things. I am still in the process of getting together a book proposal that I feel is like ready to release. Right now it looks like it's going to be a health and wellness guide for teenage girls, so really focused on like body image and self-esteem and healthy eating and empowered exercise for teens.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm super psyched about that. And then also, I am in the very baby planning stages of planning a fitness and feminism conference. My friend Caitlin, who runs the blog Fit and Feminist, her and I are like kind of working out the kinks of what we would envision and what is possible for a fitness and feminism conference.
Cool.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any questions about the conference? Any questions do you have about the conference that you want to ask us or about Austin in general? These guys just got back from Austin on another trip. Is there anything you'd like to ask us?
I would love to know what your guys' favorite Austin meals were.
Good one. My favorite is, basically any taco is my favorite automatically. The Vegan Nom has a fish taco called the Del Rey. That was put on as a special during South by Southwest, and then it was so popular they kept it, and it's a fish taco with lemon pepper and avocado and cabbage and maybe some kind of crema.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That sounds great.
And what I like about Austin a lot is there's a lot of alfalfa sprouts down there and a lot of sprouts.
Oh, we just added those to the menu, by the way.
Yes. There's 5 different shelves in the grocery stores, and those are on tacos everywhere. And growing up as a hippie in Southern Oregon, I ate them all the time. So I love that Austin is on board with the sprouts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of some Barbecue Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
They do, actually, there's, they don't do the tempeh all the time, like the tempeh wasn't available, but they do a seitan brisket that is just so ridiculously good. I kind of want them to transition and start packaging jerky, because most vegan jerkies I really don't like, but I think they can make it out of this stuff because it's so good. And then they do smoked soy curls, right? Yeah, really smoky, just really fantastic. And their sides are just phenomenal. So, Barbecue Revolution.
There's
Awesome.
also a chain called Juiceland that has all fresh juices, and I don't know how many, there's a lot all over Austin, and they're amazing, and I'm sure people at Vida Vegan will love them because we're going to be eating so many yummy breakfast tacos and sweet ritual ice cream, and Juiceland is just great and fresh and vibrant.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see what we have going on.
What's your favorite?
Oh, I've got to give it up to Vegan Nom too. I do feel, we spent 4 days there. I do feel as though I barely ate, we ate every day, but I feel as though we barely got to try as much as I wanted to. And the Vegan Nom breakfast tacos really just blew me away.
I can't wait.
Also, it was just super good, and I'm a farmer's market person too, and I always want these like fresh, bold flavors when I'm eating, and I want, no big deal, but I want every single day to eat something new and interesting. So
that's all.
You can not breakfast tacos.
In fact, every year, the 3 of us get a matching tattoo for the conference. So the first year we got beets, which are these right here. And then the second year we got Marion berries.
It's almost like we planned that.
I know.
Yeah. I'm going to stay clear.
Yeah. And then this year we have 2 options. One of them is breakfast taco. Maybe that's my option, but I really want a breakfast taco tattoo. We're also thinking about doing little peas in a pot. Excited.
With sunglasses.
She wants sunglasses.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get one with a little tie.
Oh, yeah. And there was a tie card that we saw called Suit and Tie.
Oh, that's cute.
I know.
See, there you go.
Yeah, we were actually trying to partner with a vegan tattoo parlor down there. We did that in Portland the last 2 years, where Skeleton Key Tattoo in Portland gave discounts to everybody who came. But the vegan tattoo parlor that we knew of in Austin just closed, so we're on the lookout for a new one.
We'll find a new
We've got a whole
artist.
big list of our friends.
There are a lot of artists down
the
there.
Red Hot Vegan.
We'll take care of you.
Do you have any non-food related questions?
Yes. What are the best places to swim? Are there best places to swim?
Oh, Barton Springs.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's really close in. It's beautiful. There's lots of different pools. It's maybe like $5 to get in. I think it's a little cost.
I saw a lot
amazing.
of pools in people's backyards too.
So we can do pool hopping.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, I think that's where the unofficial tubing trip is.
There might be a tubing trip.
Wow.
Right, because, as a Chicago girl, I don't know what tubing is, but it looks really fun.
I think you just sit in a tube, right? It's pretty chill.
She can be really good at that. Yeah, there's going to be a tubing trip. So basically this weekend of the conference, Saturday and Sunday are the 2 main days of the conference. It's just jam-packed with classes and so much good stuff. And then the Friday before is the Vegan Bazaar. So this is where all the exhibitors will be this year, all the vendors, the sampling, the food trucks. I want some music. So it's just going to be a really fun, lots of panels from local people. And then on either side, there's going to be some other fun events. We're looking at tubing, maybe a volunteer day at an animal sanctuary. So for anybody who's coming and wants to make a week-long vacation out of it, we'll have plenty of stuff going on either end.
And so many people bring family and friends with them as just part of this big excuse to go to Austin, basically.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
Stuff for people to do, because there's a lot to do in Austin, and it should be gorgeous then. Not, it shouldn't be, 120, So it should be livable, but just gorgeous.
As long as I'll be able to live, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
That's really good. I didn't know how to swim until last year. I just taught myself, so I'm like, I gotta get. I swam only in pools though. So I'm like, I should swim in an outside body of water.
Yeah, Barton Springs. It's definitely beautiful. And our hotel, the Hotel Conference Center, the AT&T Conference Center, has a pool.
Oh, cool.
Center. So and it's free for all people who are staying there. So it's beautiful. So get some laughs.
Cool.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lacy. So nice to cool chat, hang out with you. And if you want to tell us the name of your blog again and anything else.
Oh, yeah. So my blog is Super Strength Health. It's superstrengthhealth.com. And my Instagram is also Super Strength Health if people want to check that out. All one word.
And where did you get that hat?
I got this hat at American Apparel, which is not very innovative or cool, but that's where it came from.
Yeah.
spirit works there.
Got it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
thank you
joining
so
us.
much.
And our conference is, our website is vidavegancon.com, and it's May 29th through 31st, and the 30th and 31st are the actual conference days. The 29th is the Vegan Bazaar Exhibitor Day, and we're happy to have anybody join us who would like to. We still have some tickets left. So thank you everybody else who's watching or who will be watching. I don't know how technology works. Thank you. Nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye guys.